All right, guys, so I'm going to explain a little bit about this video before we get into it. We're looking at cars. I wasn't really in the market to buy anything. Looking at cars on Facebook. And me and Philip came across a car on there that I thought, you know what? I know a lot about this car. We'll go ahead and snag it, see if we can lock it in, and at least go take a look at it, right? It was about 4.5 hours away from my house. So yesterday we set off, and we get down there. It's at a shop. The owner, the guy that owned it, bought it. It was broken, right? So he took it to his shop to fix it, and which is where we come in. So the shop's diagnostics was it needs a transmission and the engine's blowing. Well, it's pretty rare that that would ever be the case, especially both at once. And he sent me a video the owner did of it running. And I thought, well, it's not knocking, right? So we'll see. So we get down there, we scan it. It has 77 fault codes, which is typical of dead battery. He did change the battery in it. So it had not been cleared or cleared correctly since that's been done. And we got down there, started right up. It's in half power mode, so you touch the gas pedal, nothing works, and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, so let's clip over to that video real quick, and we'll come back and then we'll explain a little more about it. All right, so we're at the M5. You didn't know, we're buying an M5 apparently. We just got here and scanned it. It has a possible clutch problem. And he says low compression, but I don't think anybody's compression tests anything, if you know what I mean. Got half power check engine light and doesn't move. So we got 77 codes. And we have vandals, all, which looks like the battery is probably dead. Pretty much every code in the car you could possibly get. EDC message, can, vehicle speed, since it's like all dead battery codes. Let's go in here, let's delete fault memory. Yes. Yep. All right, so we just cleared it. The only thing that came back was climate control code, the IHKA, you can see right here. Another one is the passenger restraint, which it has a thing on the iDrive. Let's see if it'll start. Let me pull the e-brake on first. Half power left. Hang on for that for a minute. Smells like it's 100 years old. Turn that off. Turn it back on. Take this and let's rescan. All right, display fault memory. We just started, turn it off. We got DME codes SMG. That's going to tell us the story. Well, the laptop wasn't slow as a freaking 7-inch. Okay. We have cylinder 6 cutoff, cylinder 7 cutoff, cylinder 8 cutoff. 4 all cylinder with cutoff, misfire, cut out several cylinders. The gas smells horrible in this thing. Vandals control, intake bank 2, bank 1 on both sides. Misfire with vandals cutoff or with cutoff. SMG signal steering angle is faulty. Okay. And the fogging sensor. So it definitely has the vandals. Now, can the Vanos line get bad enough to where it'll do this? It could, but I bet you something's not plugged in on this car. I bet you. Let's go look. Okay, usually what happens, it could be fuel, the Vanos codes. I'm looking to see if the cylinders are unplugged. I can't see on this one, but the engine's not knocking. And to be honest, that's all we really care about at this point. We can fix everything else. It's not knocking. We haven't tried to put it in gear yet. I'm told the clutch does slip at 94,000 miles. That's typical. But we're looking at the chassis of the car. Everything else looks to be complete. It definitely feels like something's unplugged to me to get that issue. but we won't know until we get it home and check it all out. There's just no way to tell. There's so much on this car that has to be gone over and checked to see what, when, and where, and why the problem is. The gauges in reverse pretty good. Our hope here is to get back on the trailer and get it home, get to the shop, and figure out what's going on. Definitely a Vanos related problem. Like I said, is that hose off the Vanos pump totally blowing out, or is something unplugged on the Vanos system? We just won't know, but we'll know here in a few minutes. The owner gets to learn a little more about it, but there's not low compression on all the cylinders. It's definitely all Vanos related, 100%. Okay, so you can see it behind us here. This is 2006 BMW M5. Some of the situation with, like, I'd never planned to buy any more of these, but the price can be right versus what they're worth. And we got this for the right price. Obviously it needs, you know, all the E60 stuff that everyone needs. Headlights polish, it needs a very good cleaning, a couple of hail dings in it. Maybe we get some PDR action going on it. This and that. We're not going to go too in detail about it today. We're making another video showing every little thing that's wrong with it. But we do know that it has misfire on every cylinder, all 10. And we do know that it has Vanos codes for everything. And with my maroon one, when it had Vanos codes for everything, the Vanos line under the oil pan that goes to the pump was leaking so bad it would barely run and it couldn't advance the timing. I suspect it's probably the same thing. This car has 94,000 miles on it. It's very close to the same mileage my other one was at. I think the other one was at 100, I can't remember, 103, 102. And maybe it was 90 something. Hell, anyway, it doesn't matter. And this one being white, I think this is Alpine white, I really can't remember. And this one's also black interior. Heated cooled seats. You probably can't see in there very good. Aluminum trim, SMG. Everything's pretty decent shape. Everything's needed a little bit of cleaning. It's been sitting for a while. No issues ECU wise. The first thing we did do when we got it back home, the very first thing we did do was pull the plugs out of the ECU box. There was no water come out of it at all. So other than the Vanos codes, there was outside air temperature sensor, and that was really it. There wasn't anything else going on at all. The SMG codes, I guess, is all dead battery stuff. Once we reset it, the car went in gear fine. Obviously, we won't know about the clutch until we can actually drive it. Here's the thing. Right now, the car is fine. I am so petrified to even start this thing more than we have to until we do the rod bearings in it. Because we all know what that could lead into. It's a little bit growly sounding, which is kind of normal for not having any maintenance done at this mileage, but there's no knocking, and that's the biggest thing. Start it cold, start it up. It could just start knocking, and then you got to rebuild it. So our angle right now is we're gonna go on the internet, get our usual ARP rod bolts, get our ACL bearings. I think the only place you could buy that internal oil hose right now is Dr. Vanos. I think it's close to $200. $200. And then the control arms on it are original. So they're a little tired at 94,000 miles. We'll get new control arms for it. The front brake pads are less than half. We'll go and replace those. The rotors look like they're okay. Things like that. It's going to take about $1,000 to make this thing right, if there's no clutch problems, if there's no anything, just to get the maintenance caught up. That's if nothing else odd is wrong, which I don't think there is. There's always a chance we get into it, figure out the Vanos pump has all kinds of issues. That's just not as common as we think. What we will do before we take the engine apart is take the oil filter out once we're ready to tear it down. and check it for oil or for metal shavings. If it has some copper, some fine copper in it, it's kind of normal for these cars. We also don't know when the last time the oil was changed. So the oil filter doesn't always tell you the story. There's nothing in it. You just don't know until you simply take it apart. And that's probably what we're going to have to do. Luckily, the only issue we have right now is the E46 is still on the lift because I have not been here to even think about touching that thing. This weekend, that's going to have to get touched in a real big kind of way, if you know what I mean. And that's going to have to get reassembled to the point we could drive it in and out. Because we got about a week for parts to get here for the old E60 M5. So in my mind, I was telling Philip, we have pretty much a week to get that car at least running and driving so we can pull it in and out. And that's going to be it. We're not going to go over anything else on this car until we can show you guys every detail of it. And that's it. If you guys will also, if you wonder where we've been at, Nathan's MRE, we're doing MRE videos over there. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description. And we're also doing cooking videos. We've been spending all of our time doing that. We're doing 3 and 4 videos a week over there. But now we're going to have to change gears a little bit back to this channel and catch up a little bit. And that's it. We'll see you guys very soon, hopefully in another day or two, with everything that's wrong with this car and maybe some E46 content. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.